Hello, this is Koi from Ray of Gratitude, giving a peace of mind to at least that one person at a time. If you don't already know, I am here to do a moon vibe. Just bring this energy in of this blue moon. Yes, it's a blue moon in Aquarius. To my understanding, a blue moon is a full moon, I believe, or a new moon, but it's when the moon falls in the sign 2 times in the season. So we are in Leo season still, wrapping it up, and the full moon, which is opposite of the sun, right? The sun is in Leo, which is opposite to the moon, which is in Aquarius. We had a full moon in Aquarius in the beginning. I believe it was like the 20-something of July. And now, here as I'm recording this, what is it? The 21st of August. So we're here, and I feel like, just off the top of my head, I feel like there are more things that we were cultivating in the first full moon of Aquarius this season. And it's really adding more pressure. Like, did you see this? Did you release this yet? Type of thing. So we're going to see with the cards. For the first time people watching this, thank you for showing up. I hope you stick around. I like to talk about chakras. These are my chakra readings that I do for the general collective. But of course, I do have personal ones. If you'd love to check that out, if you're feeling the vibe, of course, subscribe, but also click those links below. A Ray of Gratitude simply is creative wellness that helps spark and inspire those to be their authentic self. So I'm here to share that with you. For those that come through on the regular, thank you for showing up and supporting me. Of course, as always, if you'd love to support, easiest way is to just hit that like button, share with somebody, or subscribe, right? So without further ado, I'd love to just do a little breathing exercise and get into the reading. I'm switching a few things up. Something is in my eye. But yeah, I'm switching a few things up, and what a perfect time to do it on this full moon. I mean, like, seriously, I've been going through a lot of changes as well, and I just wanted to share that. I feel like if people have not quite yet released fully the things that they did in the first full moon back in July, the pressure is on. So all right. So I want you guys to just sit comfortable, close your eyes, and just listen to my voice, as well as this bowl right here that brings off sound to help release and relax and center the energy, so we're all in tune, whoever's watching this, right? All right, let's go. Gently close your eyes. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. Continue to breathe in through your nose slowly and exhale out through your mouth slowly. As you breathe in, say inside your mind to yourself, I am now releasing all stress, worry, anxiety from my mind, my heart, and my aura. Now slowly open your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale out. And let us begin. Okay, let us begin. I'm going to first start off with using my gratitude attitude cards and this chakra set here to really just talk about the creative collective. I didn't mean to say creative collective, but maybe I should have said that. As you know, I'm a creative soul, and shout out to my creative souls that are watching this. But honestly, this segment part is to talk about chakras. If you don't know, this is my little session, my little spiel about chakras and how it helps you, you know. And then we're going to just tap in more on the whole thing with the energy of with tarot and what it is that we need to release at this time, and how can we transform this energy, you know, and really ground it in. Okay, so let's start with further ado. Okay, did I do this already? I don't know. Let's use my spray. I love using this spray first. Thank you, Spirit, for coming into this space. All right, and let's begin. So what is the collective energy chakra that needs to be focused on during this time? What is this collective energy chakra that needs to be focused on during this time? Okay, we got recovery. Just want to show you that. Put this right over here. Let's take a look. What wants to accompany this recovery energy? You know, I do think, I was just speaking about recovery, reading something earlier today, and it was talking about giving the opportunity and space for the healing that you have already done, and to really like integrate that energy, to recharge, you know. It just reminds me of like someone breaking their leg, right? Once that bone is broken and it heals, your body still has to adjust walking on this healed leg now. Many times we just up and go like, oh, I'm good. You know, if you're battling a certain type of energy, whether it's physically, emotionally, or mentally, you know, on our good days, we're like, oh, I'm good now. Like nothing happened, right? But many times you are good in that moment, but you still have to realize to take it easy, you know? Like, people don't understand the energy of trauma in your body, your nervous system, and all that. So your inner thoughts become your outer world. If you intimidate someone for being yourself, realize that's because of their own weakness. And then we have the grass is always greener on the other side when we stop watering our own. Okay, so this is kind of coming to me as something with just really kind of healing the heart as well as the mind, like really balancing that. And there's a need to balance that, to bring that alignment so we can really start seeing the changes that we've been cultivating. You know that saying, be the change that you want to see in the world. Well, many times that change push you through some type of struggles, some type of rough patches, right? Because you're building something completely new. And it all starts in the mind as well as the heart. You have that passion, you have that energy, right? But let's talk about chakras, for instance, right? This sometimes speaks of the third eye, but sometimes also speaks about the crown. I'm going to go off of the crown for right now, right? Because just like our creative process, we all have this, you know, chi energy, ki energy, as the Easterns say, I believe, right? But we all have this, right? Our chakra starts, the crown chakra starts at the top of our head, literally where a crown would rest. That's where we get our connection to the divine. Next comes the intuitive energy that really connects with our imagination. Where do we get our imagination from? Especially if we're talking about chakras. From the divine energy, from that ki energy, from that chi energy, which is translated as universal life force energy, right? source, whatever you want to call it. All right. It gives you that key, that understanding, and say, oh, boom. Like, if you ever had that epiphany or that just boom, like type of idea. Or if a fairy just sprinkled some like fairy dust on your head, and you're like, wait a second, okay. That's that creative energy coming in, that inception of an idea. And with that, we want to balance it and go through and find that truth in our heart, towards our heart, right? And the throat chakra is the bridge of the truth of that information that you're receiving. But we're talking about this recovery. There's something that you've been trying to recover, right? Call back. I don't know why I'm hearing soul facets right now, but calling back that energy that you already had, that you've always been connected to, but now you've tapped into that connection and you're trying to align it. Because sometimes, have you ever seen that incense? It's like a really fancy incense holder, and you put the cones on it, and then you see the smoke kind of going in different directions, but it all is led from that one cone. That's kind of what's happening, and you're trying to find that alignment so it can really just center your well-being and energy. Because some things have been a little bit distorted, right? Our inner thoughts become our outer world. Our outer world may not be feeling, ugh, especially from the last full moon that was in Aquarius 4 weeks ago, right? There was an indication, especially of your moon child, right? You know that these cycles, the moon teaches us the cycles, the ebbs and flows of our life. And something needed to be released. And now here we are on this blue moon. Every blue moon, every once in a while. Now it's really illuminating to us that, oh, I have to get rid of this. I've been learning more about astrology, and I'm not quite sure where the Pluto placement is, but Pluto is more of an outer experience that the collective has, which is usually like generational, because Pluto moves very slow around the sun, right? We are the sun, if you think of it, right? And Pluto moves around as that energy of transformation, of death and rebirth, right? And it's been a long time coming for all of us, I can say. I don't even want to circle out or highlight any certain person or label. It's been a long time coming for all of us. And in order for us to see the change in our outer world, it begins in the mind. It begins in our inner thoughts. And many times we kind of combat that energy. Like sometimes when we feel that we're disconnected from source, or feel disconnected from the images, from our mind's eye that is telling us, we kind of get caught up in our insecurity. The opposite of the crown chakra is the root chakra, which the root chakra is helping us feel safe within our body, safe within our environment, feeling secure, mind, heart, soul. And many times if we're insecure, right, we'll feel intimidated by someone else. Or someone else will bring out the weaknesses within you, vice versa. But right here it says, if you intimidate someone for being yourself, realize that's because of their own weaknesses. Now, empaths, highly sensitive people, sometimes when you're around certain people that are constantly triggering you or whatnot, or just in a situation, that you may be self-sabotaging or putting yourself in, you start feeling insecure, right? That's because you're not connected with that divine energy. That's because you're not trusting yourself. And that's because you're not trusting the process of the recovery. The Lord knows that I am speaking to myself right now, y'all. Please don't get it twisted. I always say this because every time I do my readings, there's always a piece of me that can relate. I just want y'all to know that. Namaste. Okay, the light within me sees the light within you. I feel that I need to say this through all of my videos, which I didn't say in the beginning, but you hear it now. Okay, thank you for coming here, because this is about tapping in and embracing our authentic self. This is why I do these videos. And right now, this full moon energy is really tapping into our mind of truth, our mind of trust, and really trusting in the inner world, right, that we all have with connection with the divine. So we can in turn find that alignment and start really trusting the things that we start seeing outwardly. And when you start sparking that, sometimes you feel so illuminated, right? It's hard to wrap around your head at times. But when other people are in a dark place and you're just shining, sometimes the human default mind just wants to hate. What was I watching on TV the other day? I can't remember. But this lady was saying to her husband, she said, for so long she's felt disconnected from herself as well as him. And she just hated the fact that he was always so optimistic and happy about things. But that's because she was hating herself. You know what I'm saying? So when we can transmute this energy and find love with the divine source energy, find love within us, find love within our inner world as well as our outer world, it really doesn't matter what other people think, right? Because their weaknesses show who they are and your strength shows who you are. And when you're strong within and secure within yourself, you realize that your light may be intimidating, but at the same time, you know how to handle it in the correct manner that is best for the greater good and moving forward accordingly. All right. So let's get into this tarot reading here. Let me see something. Okay. So let's talk about what needs to be released now. I'm going to use my soul cards that I used last full moon Aquarius 4 weeks ago, okay? And then we're going to get into the tarot. So what needs to be released right now collectively? Oh, that flipped right out. This card, I'm kidding. I go back to my Aquarius one. I'm pretty sure this came out. I'm pretty sure. If it wasn't on that one, then it was my personal reading I did for myself. All right, let's see. Okay, thank you. That's the card for best way that we can. Okay, and how can I? Ooh, 2 cards. How can I protect this energy? Very interesting. Really interesting. Okay. I'm getting a sense of grounding something as well as balancing. There's a lot of purging going on right now. Definitely. Which is why this recovery is coming in. Let's see what tarot has to bring. Okay. Universe. I don't want to get one more just because. You know what? This was on the bottom. Should I? I think I'm going to trust it and just leave this on the bottom. Okay. So, basically, you know what I'm seeing is like, again, I just have to say, the light within me sees the light within you. And it's almost like spirit is saying that to you. That's really what I'm getting here. We have fire, air, and then the universe card, as well as the magician. And this is interesting. This isn't the fool, but this is the number 1, right? And this is 21. It's almost like a beginning and an end, a beginning of understanding your unique power within, your uniqueness, your light within. What needs to be released, though, is almost like the understanding of this is just some like imagination, you know, like many times people feel like your imagination is something like Walt Disney, you know, and he had, I really need to look this up. He used to say, there was this saying almost like a slogan, you know, for his business, Disney, something about the imagination. And honestly, yeah, I don't want to get too deep into that about cartoons, but what I'm trying to say here is, though, our imagination comes from our inner reality, our inner world, our inner thoughts. And it's just as real as your outer thoughts, okay? And there's a need for you to kind of stop lulling yourself to sleep about who you are spiritually. I really need to be honest and truthful about this, because I've had to have a real conversation with myself and really ask myself, why is it that I feel uncomfortable speaking about spirit? Why is it that I feel uncomfortable speaking about spirituality? And in the same time, for actually years, it was because of how religion distorted what spirituality is and the sacredness of the sacred space, and how many indigenous people of this earth, of this world, has truly connected with spirit through animals, through planets, the sun, and whatnot. Not worshiping, not saying that, what is that word? I'm not going to come for anybody's, you know, way of how they may hold on to religion. I'm not coming for y'all. If religion helps you feel within your own sense of security and spirituality, more power to you. But for me, how I've learned how freeing and liberating, understanding my spirituality and connecting with my spirit as well as the divine has allowed me to release from certain words that religions have used, like sin, to make you feel shameful and guilt, and cause a disconnect. You know what I'm saying? I've also have been, I really, spirit's coming through because I don't even talk about this, but I just want to say like how I've been really connecting with the ancestors. I remember when I first started understanding about connecting with the ancestors, I also started hearing other people speak about how, who wants to connect with dead people. Oh, that's the word, worship. With religion synonymously comes worship, right? They say thou shalt not worship, but then it's very distorted and twisted, right? You need to understand yourself first to understand that inner G, that inner God, how that connects with that outer God, source energy, like I was saying, whatever you want to call it. Many times we do get disconnected and caught up with certain words, right? And we forget to feel, which I feel like this is what's going on here. And for anybody that has felt this unconditional love, which I do feel is highly connected with source energy. As energy, there's different levels of energy that is felt, right? But when we can go to our own sacred space and have grounding, right? In this cup, this really is about grounding in sacred space. The indigenous people know about the sacred fire, how they connect with that element of fire is spirit. Why do people light candles? Or incense sometimes represents fire and air. These are all elements that you can do your research on that connects with that connects with many different indigenous people, tribes. There's another word I'm looking for. I don't really want to say races, but there's another word that is falling off. But there's a need to really, let me go back to this. There's a need to release this subconscious way of how you act, right? Because I'm looking at this yellow here. Your actions have not really been matching with your inner thoughts. So the way that you act, the way that you put out, you know, the things in your outer world haven't really connected with the inner world. Some of you have been just seeing it as two separate things, you know, and kind of playing the fence. But some of you aren't understanding your own divinity, just like the high priestess, which I'm surprised hasn't shown up. The high priestess energy taps into, it taps into different worlds, the seen world and the unseen world here. You know, and it starts with finding your sacred space. So many of us really need to let go of the distractions here and really tune in and find your sacred space so you can really start understanding your truth, your divinity, and really let go of any insecurities around that, whether any spiritual uncomfortness. There's a lot of crown energy here, and recover from these things, because some things are coming up from the subconscious that we have no idea about, but it's still growing, and we need to understand, bring that subconsciousness to the consciousness. Again, it's like, you know, I'm coming out of this darkness, coming out of these shadows. People, you know, may have heard of shadow work. Shadow work is nothing to be spooky. It's just about looking at things that you have kept hidden. When you hide things, light's not shining on it, right? Because if it's in the light, if it's illuminating, it's not hidden. So some of us are like, have been intimidated of our own selves, of our own magic, there's a completion here, really. It's almost like a roundabout too. And I think that a lot of us too are going to wind up seeing and understanding things 360, things full circle, so we can really start engaging with who we are as a spirit being as well as a human being. Because we all have it. But like I was saying, you know, not trying to bash religion. I'm really not, because not all religions are bad. But what the structure has shown us a lot of times, and especially throughout the decades, especially throughout the centuries, that it was some other agenda of making us feel guilt and shame in some way that's covering up our own divinity and our own true self that is connected with the most great spirit, the most truest of all, right? This is very interesting because I've been holding back a lot of my thoughts, my beliefs, and opinions of things that I've learned spiritually, but I don't feel that they're just opinions and beliefs. I feel that there are truths within that, because most people, they, you know, again, I just have to say the light that the light inside me sees the light within you. Namaste. That is, you know, in Sat Nam, seeing the truth, understanding, and being true to yourself as well as others. Let's close this and see how we can really ground this energy in. Because I just said like a lot, and I have not really gone this deep on any of my, I don't think I have on any of my readings, because honestly, I'm gonna keep it real funky with y'all. There was a seed of fear for me of being judged, you know. I'm thankful and grateful that I live in these days and times that we can actually speak truthfully and not be persecuted for speaking such things, you know, against especially about or against religion. Yeah. There's a lot of us really understanding more of ourselves, and a lot of things are coming to the surface from our subconscious, and we're trying to figure it out. And it takes time, it takes recovery. But again, starting where we came from, we have the key. We have the key for that. Patience, as I speak about. The number 6, which also represents love and balance. This is from my oracle cards of the Sacred Vision Oracle. Let me just see something really quick. Let's write this. Let's just read this. I don't want to read the whole thing because at the end it does say, though, what's the last? Imagine the courage and tenacity of that tiny beating heart, always in search of something greater. The purest nectar of the Great Spirit. Do you recognize this within yourself? This is exactly what I was speaking about, right? At times, a hummingbird will be still. He waits patiently when he looks ahead. He throws a certain beam of energy out, and in waiting for the moment, he allows the energy to come back. He is never exhausted. Learn this warrior practice to revitalize yourself. Look at something, send it energy. Be silent. This is talking about the sacred space I'm talking about, y'all. Don't think about it. Wait patiently for the moment. Then feel the energy returning to you, leaving you feeling renewed. Yes, this is talking about the sacred spirit here. Sacred spirit, sacred circle, like the sacred fire. And that is a practice of connecting with the divine energy and seeing how it resonates with you, being still, being patient enough to hear, to see, to feel. Many times we do take things very literal, but sometimes we do hear. Sometimes we do see, and sometimes we do feel. Again, mind's eye, that third eye chakra is seeing within. It's not seeing without. And it's also a feeling, a knowing, a trust within yourself that you are going through right now. And the hummingbird, I believe, their heart rate is like so fast for that little entity, right? But it beats fast because it allows them to feel, right? And it allows them to have a greater vision, a greater knowing, as well as tenacity, right? So it's like this knowing of something that is greater than us, that is out of our control, but also something that may even intimidate us, right? Because it's showing our weaknesses. But guess what? It's okay. You're not a weak person for recognizing your weaknesses. It's just a weak moment. It's just a weak moment that you're having. Your strength is how you are moving when you get up. Any more messages from higher self here? Answers are coming very soon. Which tells me, let's just shuffle one more time. Okay. Which tells me here, time to release, y'all. This is the bottom. It tells me here, look, ground your energy. This is all about centering, finding your center and finding balance. Because when you can do that, the answers do come to you. They come to you with patience, with tenacity, and with a way of finding your own sense of spirit. And again, like, not trying to bash religion, but I just kind of feel like it's very boxed in because it doesn't promote that, at least from my experiences. When we can really understand our spirit and tap into our own spirituality, our own spiritual sense, our own spiritual discernment, that allows us to align with who we are as a person, allow us to give ourselves that soul care and really just move forward with confidence and knowing and trust in truth within ourselves, within what's going on within us as well as without, because this is, what am I hearing right now? Binary universe. Everything is paradoxal here, and what comes up must come down, right? And as above, so below. We have the magic within us, but we have to release some things to allow us to make room for more and more truth, honestly. Let's dispel these lies that we've been telling ourselves, subconsciously, and having self-sabotage, and really tap in to truth in the mind, truth in the heart, truth in the spirit. Ashe. All right, so thank you for those that have sat through this whole thing. If you're still with me right now, I am very thankful for you being here. I love to talk about soul care. I create products for your soul care. And I also have workshops that help us tap inward and really find and unlock and unleash and expand our creative energy, because our creative energy is full of that source energy, as I was speaking about, key energy, chi energy, and whatnot. And it allows us to express the things that are from within and express it outwardly into our physical reality. So please check out, if you're feeling the vibe, please subscribe. Whew, I kind of went a little bit deep there. I am very deep, and many times I feel that no one understands, right? But right now, at this time, is a great time to express this. Thank you, Spirit. Express this so you can find truth within you. You know what I mean? I really, especially when I'm connected with Spirit, I trust that I can be my true self, and I don't proclaim to be perfect, and I am not, people do judge, but at the end of the day, they can keep that judgment over there. Because probably I'm intimidating their own weaknesses, right? So this is really full circle, as I was saying, but things are coming into the light, and I just need you to be patient and allow that time to process, to really find the time to recover from any ailments, any negative things that has happened, and really integrate with the positive, the new energy, and the greater good of what you are trying to do and how your path is illuminating before you. Again, check out the, if you want any chakra readings or anything that you want to try to contact me, please comment, like, share, and check the links out below, because that's how you can move forward with me. I have a new workbook here that really helps you tap in, as well as my workshops that are going to be starting very soon. So again, thank you for showing up. The light within me sees the light within you. Ashe, and until next time, I am outie. Peace.